Welcome to our college briefing show. Today's top stories kick off with a thrilling victory as the Texas A&M Aggies took an early lead and never looked back, defeating the Tennessee Volunteers 9-5 in Game 1 of the College World Series Finals. The Aggies are now just one win away from claiming their first national title. Next, we dive into the world of Olympic dreams where Sarah Bacon and Alison Gibson have secured their spots in the Paris Olympics after stellar performances at the U.S. diving trials. Carson Tyler also made a splash, qualifying for the men's 10-meter platform event. Finally, we rewind to 2016, when a young Jaylen Brown predicted his NBA Finals appearance while watching a Warriors game. Fast forward to 2024, and Brown not only played in the finals but also clinched the MVP title. Please stay tuned for more details on these exciting stories. Associated Press: in the opening game of the College World Series Finals, Texas A&M secured a significant early lead and defeated Tennessee 9-5. Gavin Grahovic set the tone with a leadoff homer, and the Aggies capitalized on a 5-run third inning. Evan Ashtonbeck's shutout relief pitching stifled Tennessee's offensive surge in the 7th inning. Tennessee, aiming to be the first number 1 seed to win the championship since 1999, now faces a must-win Game 2. The Aggies' Caden Kent, filling in for injured star Braden Montgomery, added to the lead with a homer, contributing 3 hits and 4 RBIs. Despite a late rally by Tennessee, including home runs from Dylan Dreiling and Hunter Ensley, Ashtonbeck closed the game, maintaining his impressive record of allowing just 1 earned run in his last 9 appearances. Associated Press: at the U.S. Olympic diving trials, Sarah Bacon and Alison Gibson secured their spots for the Paris Olympics in the women's 3-meter springboard event. Bacon, who also qualified for synchronized 3-meter, scored highest in the final round with 72 points. Gibson, returning to the sport after a hiatus post-Tokyo Olympics, placed second, narrowly edging out reigning bronze medalist Krista Palmer. Carson Tyler won the men's 10-meter platform, earning his first Olympic berth with a total score of 965.45 points. Tyler's consistent high scores, including a final dive that clinched his victory, highlighted his performance. The trials, held at the University of Tennessee, will conclude with the women's 10-meter final, and Tyler remains in contention for another Olympic spot in the men's 3-meter event. Yahoo US: Jaylen Brown's journey to NBA Finals MVP began with a bold prediction during the 2016 finals between the Warriors and Cavaliers. As a draft prospect from Berkeley, Brown confidently declared he would one day play in the NBA Finals. 8 years later, he fulfilled that promise, leading the Boston Celtics to a championship and earning the Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP award. Reflecting on his 2016 experience, Brown recalled the excitement of watching stars like Steph Curry and Andre Iguodala, who later became his opponents in the 2022 finals. Brown's rise from a college standout to the highest-paid player in NBA history, with a record-breaking $303.7 million contract, underscores his remarkable career trajectory. His Finals MVP performance, averaging 23.9 points and demonstrating stellar two-way play, solidified his status as a key figure in the Celtics' success. Australian Broadcasting Corporation: when costume designer Marion Boyce stumbled upon a citron-colored hat by Jean Patou, she knew she had to own it. Her weekends hunting for vintage treasures have resulted in a vast collection of clothing and accessories, which she has used in various TV series and films, including ABC TV's Ladies in Black. Set in the early 1960s, the show is a fashion time capsule featuring iconic styles like kitten heels, trousers, pillbox hats, and A-line dresses. The A-line dress, introduced by Christian Dior in 1955, remains a staple in women's wardrobes. The 1960s also saw the rise of androgynous silhouettes, popularized by Audrey Hepburn's capri pants, and the cropped jacket, which may have military origins. Pillbox hats, made famous by Jackie Kennedy, and turbans, which have seen a resurgence in modern fashion, were also notable trends. Kitten heels, initially worn by teenage girls, eventually became fashionable for women of all ages, evolving into ballet slippers that allowed for greater freedom of movement. Yahoo US: change is a constant in college athletics, and the West Coast Conference, WCC, is no exception. The WCC has added Washington State and Oregon State as affiliate members for the next 2 years and will welcome Grand Canyon and Seattle as full members starting in the 2025-26 season. These moves aim to provide stability and strength in numbers, especially if Gonzaga, a dominant force in the WCC, decides to leave for another conference. Gonzaga coach Mark Few noted that the new 18-game conference schedule will impact their non-league games, which are crucial for strengthening their tournament credentials. Gonzaga's upcoming non-conference schedule includes high-profile matchups against Kentucky, UConn, UCLA, and San Diego State. The addition of teams like Grand Canyon, which has made 3 NCAA tournament appearances in 4 years, and Seattle, which has posted 3 consecutive 20-win seasons, will elevate the competition within the WCC. Few praised WCC Commissioner Stu Jackson for his leadership during these turbulent times and highlighted the positive impact of the new additions on the conference's overall strength. South China Morning Post, photojournalist Jilson Tiu, a Sinoig, ethnic Chinese in the Philippines, grew up in Manila's Binondo district and has always considered himself a straight-up Filipino. Despite the long history of Chinese influence in the Philippines, rising anti-China sentiments are affecting the local ethnic Chinese community. Incidents like the mysterious background of Bambantown Mayor Alice Gua and a recent survey showing high levels of distrust against Chinese nationals have fueled Sinophobia. Sinois fear that public anger over China's policies may spill over into their communities, reinforcing negative stereotypes. Tiu himself experienced ethnic discrimination while photographing a pogo facility. Despite the contributions of Sinois to Philippine society, many Filipinos still perceive them as distinct and not fully integrated. Historical policies during Spanish and American colonial periods contributed to this perception. Analysts argue that discussions about U.S.-China tensions should focus on justice and peace rather than forcing Sinois to declare loyalty to one nation. There's a need to recognize Chinese Filipinos as an integral part of the Philippines' unique cultural fabric. Australian Broadcasting Corporation. In 1926, Jane Duran, a Yuan woman from Moruya on the NSW South Coast, composed a letter to King George V, pleading for her grandchildren to be allowed to attend Batemans Bay Public School. This letter, remarkable in its journey, reached Buckingham Palace, garnered the endorsement of the Australian Governor-General, and ultimately became a significant artifact in the state's archives. Ms. Duran's letter highlighted the absurdity of Indigenous students being removed from schools if non-Indigenous parents complained, a practice that persisted until the 1970s. Despite her previous letters to various Australian authorities yielding no results, this particular letter led to her grandchildren being allowed back into school 2 years later, albeit under strict segregation. Jane Duran, who also protested against the revocation of land designated for Aboriginal reserves, is remembered as a forgotten political warrior of the 20th century. Her great-granddaughter, Mary Brearley, recalls the family's self-sufficient homestead on the Moruya River, which was later compulsorily acquired and demolished, reflecting the ongoing injustices faced by Aboriginal families. Today, the site has been named a heritage conservation area, with a tribute to Jane Duran bringing some measure of justice and healing to her descendants. BBC. Emma Myers, known for her roles in Netflix's Wednesday and Family Switch, takes on the role of Pip Fitzamobi in the BBC adaptation of Holly Jackson's A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. The young adult crime story, which gained viral fame through TikTok's Book Talk community, follows Pip and co-detective Ravi Singh as they investigate a murder case involving Ravi's brother. Emma acknowledges the pressure of portraying such a beloved character, noting that while she doesn't see many similarities between herself and Pip, she admires Pip's sense of justice and determination. The series has generated significant excitement among fans, with many eagerly anticipating its release. The story's appeal lies in its blend of teenage angst, humor, and dark crime thriller elements, making it a unique and compelling narrative for young audiences. Holly Jackson, the book's author, credits TikTok for its role in amplifying the book's popularity and enabling the adaptation. The BBC series promises to capture the essence of the book while offering its own interpretation of the characters and story. Yahoo US. Alex Yunga, a 37-year-old gardener with high-functioning autism, finds solace and purpose in the Merriam Station Community Garden in St. Paul's Merriam Park. Known for his knowledge of plants and insects, Alex tends to a variety of flora, including native wildflowers and fruit trees, while managing invasive species like creeping Charlie. The community garden, established 12 years ago, has become a sanctuary for Alex, helping him cope with personal challenges, including the death of his roommate. The garden also features a memorial for Alan Geisencoder Jr., an 8-year-old tragically killed by a drunk snowmobiler, reflecting the community's spirit of healing and remembrance. Garden coordinator Noah Kurth appreciates Alex's dedication and expertise, and the garden thrives under the collective efforts of its members. For Alex, the garden represents growth, resilience, and community, offering him a place where he can see nature and people flourish together. His passion for gardening extends beyond the community plot, as he also greens the backyard of his group home, demonstrating the profound impact of horticulture on his life. Yahoo US, on our USC call-in show at the Voice of College Football, Trojan fans are understandably venting their frustrations. It was a tough week for the program as they lost two prime defensive commitments, raising concerns about the nil operation. Some fans blamed Lincoln Riley, but the real issue seems to be player compensation compared to other schools. Lincoln Riley's hire of Eric Henderson to focus on NFL-quality player development was initially successful, but the decommitments of Terry and Gibson pointed to factors beyond the coaching staff. The focus should be on fixing the nil mess rather than assigning blame. Yahoo US, former Colorado football defensive coordinator Charles Kelly, now with the Auburn Tigers, will reunite with Jocks Robinson. Auburn announced the signing of the transfer defensive back, marking another collaboration between Kelly and Robinson, who previously worked together at Alabama. Robinson spent the first 3 years of his college career with the Crimson Tide and then joined Kelly at Colorado. In his time with the Buffs, Robinson recorded 9 total tackles, 1 TFL, and an interception. Auburn, which had a 6-7 season last year, welcomes Robinson as they aim to strengthen their defense. The Toronto Star, a new pro-Palestinian encampment has emerged in downtown Montreal's Ville-Marie borough, near the office of the provincial pension fund manager, Caisse de dépôt et placement du Québec. Protesters began barricading themselves in Victoria Square, using construction materials, to demand the pension fund cut ties with Israeli institutions involved in the Israel-Hamas conflict. This encampment is similar to others on university campuses across Canada and the US. Despite McGill University ending negotiations with pro-Palestinian protesters, other campuses like Université du Québec en Montréal have seen protesters dismantle their encampments after the university agreed to many of their demands. Yahoo US, at Tri-Central High School, a group of outstanding graduating seniors has been honored with various scholarships, recognizing their academic achievements and community contributions. Among the recipients, Walter York received the Encompass Credit Union Scholarship, while Emma Henry, Chloe Eller, and Adeline Taylor were also recognized. Notably, Miles Piskey was awarded multiple scholarships, including the E.W. Kelly Memorial, Indiana University Kokomo Chancellor's Scholarship, Huntington University Dean Scholarship, and the Indiana University Kokomo Cream and Crimson Scholarship. The scholarships cover a wide range of fields and institutions, reflecting the diverse talents and aspirations of the students. For instance, Autumn Hurt received both the Tri-Central Scholarship Fund and the Huntington University Basketball Scholarship, showcasing her academic and athletic prowess. South China Morning Post, as the Communist Party of China prepares for its much-anticipated third plenum, the focus is on addressing the country's escalating local fiscal woes. Cities like Nanjiang have experienced severe financial strains, leading to the suspension of urban bus routes due to reduced government subsidies and rising costs. This situation is emblematic of broader fiscal challenges faced by local governments across China, exacerbated by a post-pandemic economic slowdown, property market crises, and mounting debts. Experts like Zhou Tianyong and Tang Dajie emphasize the need for reforms in the fiscal and taxation system, which has long favored central government revenue at the expense of local financial stability. The upcoming plenum is expected to tackle these issues head-on, potentially redefining the economic relationship between central and local governments and introducing measures to boost local tax systems and manage debts more effectively. CBC, Capilano University in North Vancouver faced an unexpected closure of its main Purcell Way and Lonsdale campuses for 3 days following a violent threat made by one student against another. The university's president, Paul Dangerfield, emphasized the institution's zero-tolerance policy towards violence, intimidation, and bullying. The threat, which was specific to a student and the CAPU campus on June 21, prompted the involvement of local authorities, including the police, to ensure the safety of the university community. The closure affected around 12,700 students and highlighted the gravity with which the university and law enforcement responded to the potential danger, prioritizing the well-being of all students and staff. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.